Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Back streaming another 7 p.m. Tavern game. Tonight I've got Dave Stones with me. Good evening,
Good evening.
Dave.
How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. You
Not too bad.
played up today?
Just did. I'm going to be doing the games later on today, so I'm not in this 7 o'clock game. I didn't register for that, but I'm going to be doing the 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock games tonight.
Cool.
So obviously it's a new period, just started up for May. Fresh start for everyone.
Yeah, we've got a lot of streaming coming up next week.
Yeah, all the finals. It should be a good one.
Yeah, we're doing every final every night.
Are you doing the playoffs as well?
Playoff Thursday night. The first final on Friday, and then Saturday, Sunday.
Should be a good one.
Yeah, I've got John Husband with me. He's going to do, I think it's Thursday, Friday.
Yeah.
So.
Which final are you in yourself? You in the silver?
I'm in silver, yeah. So I'm thinking Saturday I'm just going to stream. I'm hoping, all things going well, that we're going to have Mark the Shark and Irish Tom with us next week.
Good.
Probably good, yeah. 2-shot.
What are you in? Are you in the gold final?
Yeah, I'm in the gold one, so that's on Sunday, right?
Yeah. Fancy doing a little bit of streaming next Saturday?
Yeah, I'll jump in for the other ones. I won't be jumping in for the gold one because I'll probably just try and focus on that as much as possible, I guess. Yeah. But for the other one, yeah, definitely I'm up for it.
What I'll probably do is if I don't fluke a qualification in that on Saturday, I will try and I'll see if I can stream all the tables. So I just stream the full event.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool, wouldn't it? If you squeeze everything on.
Tried to pick up the blinds here with A6 and got some action I didn't really want. I think I'm just going to call, and I think if he bets again, I'll probably have to fall because I don't beat much. Yeah, I'll give that up. I'm short now. 11 big.
Always interested in the lead out into you there, but I don't think he's leading out to be folding there. But whether or not he's going to be doing that with a better race or with a draw, there's obviously a lot going on that board.
Yeah, just give me 1 minute. The table's gone off. There we go, we're back. Didn't get dealt in this hand, so I don't actually have anything. I'm looking forward to these finals. They're phenomenal prizes.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Yeah, for the buy-ins, there's such good prizes, and it looks like it's going to be pretty much the same for May by the looks of it as well.
Yeah, have you seen? I think there's a new point system, isn't there?
Yeah, that does look much better. That does.
5 points per player you outlast.
I think the good thing about that is it seems to lower the variance a little bit because obviously these are super turbo tournaments. So a lot of the tournaments where there's been like say 100 odd runners and it's only the top 24 that are getting points. You know, when you got to the structure when everyone's got pretty much like 10 big blinds and it's just all in our fault. There's a lot of times when even some of the best players are just going to be going out, 30th, 40th, not getting anything for it. So it's still, obviously, it's top heavy points, so it still rewards you for, putting in a good game. But it's not the end of the world if you have a few blips.
I think last month I had a 26th, a 27th in like 100 plus player fields, and it's so tilting.
I at least had a couple of 25ths.
Just to get that close and nothing. It's just like I've played all that time to get 100 points.
Yeah, so it's still going to be decent if you're getting some consistent results. Finishing in the top 30, top 40. It's not the end of the world, but then obviously it's still going to be rewarded for.
131 started tonight. 79 left, so it's like 52 players outlasted. It's 260 points I've already gained.
And it's also good to see that they're getting these really big numbers for the start of a new period as well.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously last week there was getting some big numbers because it was everyone trying to chase the points to get the last few seats in the finals.
Oh, I don't know why my fold button's gone. What if I want to fold my queen 6? I think I'm going to check and see a flop here. Might want to fold my queen 6 there.
So this new table, apart from Dave Bett, I don't recognise anyone on this table.
So Mick Innes is West Yorkshire, not Yorkshire. I don't know who P. Hughes is. Let's see what his actual name is. I'm going to guess Paul or something like that. So he got 31,000. Paul Stephen Hughes. Don't know Paul. Well, actually not any good. I know Chucky, and that's about it. It's an interesting min raise on the turn, isn't it? I wonder if he's check calling a better, yeah. That looks like a flush, doesn't it?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be folding this.
Wow. He must have had a 10. He must have said a 10 with no cooker. So I think like what hands bet flop, bet turn, and then call a min raise on the turn.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking as well with the amount that was bet there on the river. I mean,
it looks like it's a please call me bet, isn't it?
Yeah. It's definitely not looking to get a fold.
I'm just going to fold this. I'm now looking for an all-in spot.
Exactly, yeah. Well, you've got, as I said, you've only got like one really big stack on the table, and then there's quite a few players that have got shoving stacks there, you know. Ellen, Chucky, yourself, Mick.
That limp, I don't like that limp because I wanted it to go fold, 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 and I could shove.
Yeah, it's definitely not going to happen now.
Limp, min. Fold to 5-6. Ooh. Ooh, that'd have been an interesting flop, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I don't think I'd have got paid, though. I don't think anyone would have called an all-in pre if it had folded round.
So I was interested in the min raise from Ellen out of that stack as well.
Yeah, I'd have been all in with that stack. Like
Definitely.
Anything I'm raising there, I'm probably just going to put it in. Especially to a limper in front.
So with the check, what do you reckon? Ace Queen, something like that she's got here?
Yeah.
Min raising, checking the flop. Yeah.
Queens, possibly.
I still think that would have gone all in pre-flop. Possibly something a little bit worse pocket pair, maybe something like pocket 8 or something like that.
I don't think 8's raises. I think 8's just flats. Interesting spot. I wonder what's going to happen. Just check, jacks.
Jacks, yeah.
it's like effectively the same hand as queens there, isn't it? Jacks, queens.
Yeah.
But
I would have definitely been all in pre-flop with that stack without question. Which I'm guessing you're going to be shoving if it folds down to you without hesitation.
Yeah, so I want it to go fold, fold, fold. Oh. I think because there's no antes here, this is really bad. I think I'm just going to fold this. I'm going to fold and wait for a spot where I'm just getting it in, where I'm not likely to get a caller.
That would have been a pretty good flop.
Yeah, things I don't know what that limp is.
Yeah, I have a feeling it could be something, you know, like an A7 type thing or something like that.
King, queen. Maybe. See if it calls this river bet. I think that was a good bet.
No, we don't get the information.
It's 3 tempting hands in a row, I think. I think I'm going to take that spot. I don't think I'm going to get called too much by the 3 to act after me. It's just the big stack on big blind I need to be sort of wary of.
Yeah, I don't really know much about that player.
There we go.
Oh, that's a pretty good result.
That's the result we want.
Oh, and it
Card
always
rack.
looks worse the second shove that you do.
Card rack. Same applies. Oh, I'm definitely getting a caller now.
Let's
Just
hope
be
it's pocket
tens.
tens.
Be nines or tens. Just. I don't want the same as what I got last week, where I got Jacks in versus Ace King and lost. Well, I think it was a lot closer to the points last week when I had the Jacks.
That's a good result.
Yep, I'm happy with Ace 10. I don't want 2 overs. Back in the game. I want some donking chips now. I couldn't go for the hat trick there, could I? Yes.
No, not with that many players left to act, and especially with Chucky with the 5 big blinds. I think he's going to be shoving this.
Wow.
He must have been short.
Chucky must have absolute rubbish. I wonder where Chucky finished in that leaderboard.
I didn't actually see him playing too many games, to be honest.
I think he played some.
I know I saw his name in a few of them, but I don't think he'll be up at the top.
Fold DS4. God.
Which I'm hoping not as well, because I'd rather not run into him in the gold final.
So, Chucky made the bronze final.
How many games did he play?
He played a total of 9.
Ah, right.
So, what I'm thinking is, I might have to drop Chucky a message and see if I've got myself a little streaming partner for Saturday or Sunday. Probably Sunday. Someone else to jump on while...
Yeah, for the gold one. Yeah, it would be... I think it'd be pretty good for it.
I'm going to have to check Jack 3 here.
Yeah, you don't mind seeing a flop.
That's
not a fantastic flop.
The problem I find, when people just check, I just want to bet the turn. Every time I just want to bet that turn.
Yeah, sometimes taking the initiative here in a checked in a limped pot.
That's a bad river for me. It's a bad river because I can't really rep a 10 and they're more likely to hit a 10, I think. Jack 10. Queen 10 maybe. You see some funky stuff. Yeah,
fours do it. What was the other one? Can you check that out?
I can find that out. Queen 6 of clubs. Yep, Queen 6 of clubs. That's
So maybe a bet on the 10 could have taken that down, but yeah, I don't really want to be risking it without much equity going on there, do you? You've not exactly gonna.
If I've got Jack 10, Jack Queen, 6 7, 7 8 sort of thing, I can bet there because I've got some sort of equity in it.
Yeah, at least you got a chance of your hand improving. You're not even particularly going to like it if a jack comes out. You're still going to be checking it down.
I had a good little run last Friday night, didn't I, in the deep stack?
You did, yes. Yeah. Did you finish fourth in it, was it?
5th. I raised like 3 hands in a row, and Holly shoved on me every time. And the third time I'd raised with King 10 off, and she shoved and I was like, yeah, I'm not buying this that you've got a hand every time. Called. She had 9-2.
That's what happened to me as well. I think I made the final table as well. I'd obviously been seeing a lot of these loose shoves. They min raised. I got it all in with Ace Jack, and they had pocket kings.
Yeah, I think that one were on stream.
Yeah, possibly. I think it might be in early days. I think I was like 8th or 7th or something like that. Yeah. But I won the one the night afterwards, so all worked out.
There was a funny hand when Tom connected up, to start the stream.
Yeah.
And I'd raised your big blind with 7-8 of diamonds, completely missed the flop and c-bet, and I went, I can't start the stream. while I've got this hand on short hand. Don't want Dave seeing that I've bluffed him.
Oh God, I can't remember what I had then, but
I don't remember what the board was. I remember bluffing you with 7-8 of diamonds, but
I'll defend my big blind quite a bit, so
yeah,
8 high might have been good.
8 high might have been good.
Yeah, my big blind's never for sale. And you're back to being card dead once again.
Interleague teams have sort of been announced.
Yeah, they have. Obviously, a lot of qualifiers from the Nationals as well, which is interesting to see because I totally lost track at the Nationals of who qualified for the Humble League.
Yeah, I've noticed that there's no wildcards.
Are they not doing wildcards for this one?
No. So there's eight players announced.
Yeah.
And then the other 4 teams, the other 4 players will be decided. May and June leaderboard top dog.
Yeah.
And the regional champion in the May and June final, highest league player in the golf final in each of those.
So still plenty of chances.
Yeah, I might not be in.
I managed to squeeze my way in from the Nationals. I think it was it was actually in the doubles game with Chucky.
It might not be because Chucky's not there.
No, we're in different leagues, so I think that worked out slightly different. We obviously played in the doubles game, but I think I was.
Oh yeah, so you've earned your spot.
Yeah, there was like the overall individual winner who was a Humber player, but then there was the highest Humber team, which technically I was semi-part of, I guess.
Yeah.
Because we both made the last 2 tables. So it must have worked out from that.
I fault this. Be interesting to see how this plays. Do you think Chucky calls it off? I mean, you probably should be doing me like it. Virtually anything here, but the lack of antes mean you can wait, don't it?
There we go.
10. That feels like a slow roll.
Chucky gets lucky.
Tanking there with ace 10 with 3.5 bigs feels like a slow roll. Chucky, you should be ashamed. That was bloody disgusting.
He's got no
but
chance
it'll be
of ever
good that there's
folding
no
that
wild cards because I'd already been asked if I wanted to be a wild card if I didn't qualify.
That's the first one that I've seen where there hasn't been any wild cards.
And to be fair, looking at the 8 that are already in for Yorkshire, there's 1, maybe 2 at a push that probably won't go.
We've got quite a strong-looking team from Humber again. I think we've had decent teams the last couple of years. And Chucky doubles again. Now, what are you going to do here with that limp under the gun? Interesting.
Well, we saw him open with ace queen. I actually missed Chucky's double up there. I think I'm just going to put it in here.
Yeah, it's too strong to fold. Just got to hope that he doesn't have any of your outs.
Ace Jack 10. Oh. 4-3. What is that?
Unfortunately, that was some of your outs as well. Now you've got the jacks.
I waited. You could have made a really bad fold and waited. Interesting one. Very interesting one. At least I've got a little bit of isolation, I suppose.
Let's go for the triple up.
Hold. Hey.
There we go. And the
There's
jack on the river.
Jack on the river. Where were it last time? Oh, let's move my tables.
Let's put up movie closer to the big blind.
No, let me just. There we go.
That's fine. And because there's no antis, you can see a couple more hands.
I can wait. I love this. I love
maybe you'll see something better than 5-2.
Yeah. So, Darren McDonald. Is he from West Yorkshire? We used to have a player called Darren McDonald. I'm sure we did in Yorkshire years ago.
You got 2 decent Humber players on your table, sandwiched in between them both.
I'm not going to call one of the Rollins, well, one of the Razors with 5-2. What are we going to get here? It's an interesting flat and then lead.
Could it be like a Queen 10? 8s?
It's very interesting with that.
Could have been in a lot of trouble.
See better than 5-2.
Have you turned off the new party poker animations?
Yeah.
I was watching one of the streams. I was watching one of my friends playing last night, and he was just getting constantly harassed for the full game from one player that every single time he made a raise, just kept throwing turds at him. Every single hand.
Yeah, I've turned the feature off. I've actually... There's a setting, if anyone is playing and wants to know how to turn it off, there's actually a setting where you can just turn everything off. So if you go to your settings on Party Poker and then go interactive features, there's an option that says turn off all diamond features, diamond balance, rabbit and throw animations. So I've just done that. The last thing I want is someone throwing a piece of power at me. I'm not a monkey.
When you've got a big decision to make. What do you reckon? Are you going to get a better hand in the next 2 hands?
What I'm thinking is the blinds have just gone up to 2-4 next hand. I'm actually thinking I'm just going to fold and wait for my big blind. Because if I double up now, yeah, if I win that pot, I'm up to about 10k. By the time the blinds go through me, I've only got 4k anyway.
This is a no-brainer here.
Yeah. Especially for first in. Like, I think with the raise, I yeah,
that's the problem when you've got no kicker. I mean, I know you've got a suited ace, but what you're either going to be, have 3 outs against any pocket pairs. I don't think that Sean's going to be raising under the gun with a hand like King Queen or something like that, which is the only thing that you're really hoping for there.
I'm probably hoping to see clubs.
Yeah. Well, you got a good shot. And the heart.
60th place. What's that for me?
At least it's better than it was in the old system.
Yeah, it's better than 100 points. Yay!
Right, are you sticking on this table or?
Yeah, I think we'll stick on this table for a little while.
So who have we got? I know Sean Snow and John Battams. The others are running names that I've seen online. I don't think I know them personally.
Yeah, I don't recognise any of the others.
I know that whenever I've seen Thomas Mundy online, he always seems to have a stack. He seems like a fairly aggressive player.
Dude, I normally play really aggressive, but I've not been playing aggressive in these.
Sometimes it's hard to when it's so short, though, isn't it? You make one mistake or you get one loose call, and that's it. You're crippled. That's why I quite like the 10 o'clock games. Once it's got to the add-on period, people have still got like 150 big blinds. There's a lot you can do.
Yeah, I think I might. I might see how I'm feeling and maybe play that 10 o'clock game. Down to 57.
Have they put the prizes up for tonight yet?
I've not checked. Oh, Sean picks up a straight. There we go. Paul Hughes goes out, 57th.
Ooh.
Let me check if they have been put up. No, it doesn't look like they have.
So Minrays.
I was once doing this with, playing 1 cent, 2 cent cash on stars, just taking mick with a friend.
Yeah.
We were both sat there like, we just kept going all in every hand. We were both up to like $20.
Yeah.
We min raised it all in. And when players on the table were complaining about it, we took longer, we time banked every single one of them.
Surprised it's stuck on your table on a cash table. Yep, so there's the interactive features that you can turn off.
Yes.
I think I'm gonna set that up on mine now because I can't be bothered with it.
There we go. Accidentally showing that because that wasn't part of the script. But if anyone wants to turn off someone throwing poo at them, there you go. That's how you do it.
Why would anyone want to do that?
I don't know. This looks like it could be a bit of a interesting table.
So we've gone all in for fat. Whoa.
It would help. I've actually loaded up.
Oh, that was unfortunate.
I've actually loaded up both two tables, and I was looking at the other one like, why don't I see this action? So. Oh, I'm going to put the other table up because it's a little bit. So we've got on the other table. So we've got some good players here. Mark Fullerton. Does he hold? He holds. Sean Snell. Bev from Yorkshire. She's been getting some good results in these.
Yeah, once she one of the team captains, wasn't she?
Yeah.
I don't know Corey Heron. I've never heard that name before.
No, me neither.
And Jeff Hallam, he's from the Humber League.
Jeff Hallam?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to next week. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, 4-day stream.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one. Interestingly enough, I mean, I don't know what it's like for your league. We've got a few players that have qualified for the playoffs in the Humber League who are actually quite decent players that have just not had the time to actually qualify for any of the finals. Just played the minimum amount of games. Is it 8 games to qualify for the playoffs?
Yeah, I'm going to check who we had in Yorkshire. So, in Yorkshire, we have 2 people eligible for the playoff.
Oh, that's it?
2. Yeah, just 2.
What did we have in
I wonder
Humber?
how many we're actually going to get in the playoff. There was someone in Eastern. I don't know where that is. I'm guessing that's mixture like Lincolnshire and. No, I guess it's just Lincolnshire.
We've got 7 players from Humber that have qualified for the playoff.
There's 2 from the new Eastern League. What's the Midlands got? Let's see. So we've got 11 so far. Midlands have got 9. Wow.
So probably looking at about 20 players, yeah, I assume.
Plus,
If everyone shows up, yeah.
let's see what the Geordies have got. What did the Geordies produce for this? 25? I bet it'll be about 40, 50 players. A lot of players from Scotland, weren't there? In these games. Yeah, 6 from Scotland. I think it's
Yeah,
East Scotland.
I've seen plenty of Scottish players on the LPPL online games.
Yeah, they're really putting some hours in, aren't they?
What are we down to now? I'm just going to load up the lobby again on that one.
I have 49 left.
I've just jumped into the APAC game, APAC Teams game.
What time do they start?
They start at 8 p.m. every night, and it's a different format every night of the week. Got my tonight is the 6 max. I got my first high-low cash this week actually.
Nice.
I've only actually played 3 tournaments. My first one was 2 weeks ago, purely just for the league games there.
I love it, mate.
It's pretty fun. There's a lot to think about in it, so it's pretty interesting. Getting the hand selection right, the hands which are going to be, doing well for the high and the low. There's a lot going on.
Oh, we lose Bev.
That's quite a big pot there as well.
Yeah, 100k plus. See, it looks like a big pot, and then you see the blinds, and it doesn't look that big when you see the blinds. Michael French has got a big stack here, hasn't he? 234,000.
Yeah, it's got to be chip leader, is he?
Yeah, chip leader by 50k ish.
I've just picked up aces on the big blind.
Just realised I'm not actually watching the YouTube, so apologies if anyone's commenting and I'm not responding. So this is an interesting one, isn't it? Jeff Allen min, Sean Snell call, and
Marcus jammed it for about 11 bigs.
It looks like we have one watching.
Only one this week.
A lot of
hopefully we'll get a bunch of people for the final checking it out.
In these, yeah. I realise I messed up a little bit. I forgot to change the name of the stream.
Is it still on the cash game stream?
Yeah.
How did the cash game go last week? Because I did miss it.
There were 3 players. We played for about 20 minutes, half hour.
Yeah. Was it Omaha or Oldham that you was doing?
Oldham. I couldn't see the Omaha table in the lobby. So, we had John Husband on there for a little while.
Yeah.
David Sprosson and Laurie McKenzie.
Yeah.
I tried to bluff against, semi-bluff against David Sprosson.
Successfully or not?
Unsuccessfully. I shoved the turn with ace-9 on the river, with ace-9 on a 9-8-7-6 queen board, something like that.
Yeah.
Got called by set of 9s.
Ooh.
Yeah, open pre-a 3-bet, get called. I bet the flop and he calls. I bet the turn. I might have check raised the turn and then shoved the river or something like that. I ended up just shoving the river into him. And then I got lucky against Larry. I got in with the nut flush draw on a king eye board against top set.
Oh, had it. Nice.
Yeah, it's impossible to beat the rake in a 3-end cash game.
Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it? I was looking before when it was when the lockdown was happening. I know that one venue in Vegas that a lot of people aren't happy with, the Venetian. They were doing Ace-5 versus Ace-5, but Sean's got a free roll with the flush draw. Yeah, the Venetian in Vegas, they were trying to do as obviously they was a bit slow with the lockdown stuff in America. They were trying to do it so that you could still play poker, but you could only play cash poker 3-handed. That seems like really desperate for a live casino to be doing something like that.
Wow.
I think everywhere else had closed down, shut the poker rooms, everything.
That's crazy.
Sean gets there.
Very aggressive, isn't it?
Oh, he is, yeah. But I mean, that's one thing that you've got to be in these turbo games. You can't sit around. You're just going to get blinded out. I mean, he finished top dog in the Humber League, so he must be doing something right with his play.
Yeah. This will be strong, I think. 3-bet should have been there.
Yeah, I'm going to say pocket 10s.
Ooh.
Pocket 8s. It loses to everybody. Mark Fulton scoops the lot.
Very, very, very nice spot that there for...
Chucky seems to have been slowly picking up chips, considering how short it was earlier.
Yeah, he's very good at picking up chips. Well, let me just quickly... I'm just going to fire up all the other tables.
Yeah.
Just then I've got them on my screen somewhere. So I'll just stick on the table for a couple of minutes. This is going to be fun, me streaming the finals, because I'm just going to be jumping from table to table.
So what, have you just got them all set up on the background on your laptop and then you can just throw them across when there's action happening?
Yeah, pretty much.
Ah, cool, yeah. 7s gets the double up. Small blind on big blind. So it's getting to that point now. 3,000, 6,000 blinds. 36 players left. Average stack is 12 big blinds.
That's not a lot.
So I mean, there is the relief now that at least you've got some points locked up, you know.
Ah, the average stack, 36 remaining, is just short of 14 bigs.
Oh, is it? I thought it would have been less than that.
Yeah.
So will the limp under the gun? They're probably going to be calling this off. And it's a pretty good flop. A little bit of a sweat on the turn.
Was that a limp under the gun by as well?
Yeah. No, limp under the gun with king 6. So king 6 of spades limps under the gun. Under the gun plus 1 was all in for 4 big blinds with ace 4. And king 6 flops the flush.
I wonder if that was a misclick, limp under the gun.
Well, at that point, in a heads-up situation, I think he's still going to have to call off for the odds that he's getting.
King 6? Oh, king 6 losers.
That win all the time.
Yeah, we have an infamous king 6 hand from in the league. You know the one up in Scotland?
Yeah.
We'd had it 3-handed, and the Southwest team that had Ryan Mitchell playing for them shoved it into our big blind. I think we had about 5 or 6 bigs or something like that. King 6.
Yeah.
And our captain called it off. And we were up against Ace 4. Something like that. Ace 4, Ace 3. We lost. And on percentages, I think it is the right call. Just purely percentage-wise, it is the right call. You're getting the right odds. The stack size are like averaged out like 5 to 6 big blinds or something like that.
Yeah, at that point, if it's that shallow, if you're in a heads-up situation, it does make it a bit different when there's only that much in there.
Yeah, but some of our guys weren't overly happy with the call and thought it was a fold. And what I think is, on percentage-wise, it's a call, but I think in a team event, because I think we were big blind, so it was like we could fold.
Yeah.
I realise it's a team event, innit? Like,
the thing with Interleague is you're playing for the win, and that's it. You're not playing to ladder. When you're on the final table, it's, you're going for the trophy, you're going for the win. I know that there is a bit of money involved in it as well, but no one remembers the second place. Which is apart from us when we finished second last year, I still remember that.
Ouch. Yeah, you lost to the
invitational team, yes.
I'm glad the Midlands have got it, to be fair.
Yeah, I'd say it's a very central place for everyone, isn't it?
And it's one of those regions in Interleague that they are very much always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
Yeah.
They don't win. They just don't win them. I think they've been second like 3 times.
We've been second twice as Humber League, but it was won once by Hull.
Yeah.
When it was just the Hull League. I didn't play back then, so. So what are we down to now? 29 players. Michael French is extending his chip lead at the top. He's now got over 100k more than second place.
That's a big lead. So, I don't know if you were listening to the stream last week, the Friday night one that I did with Tom.
Yeah.
I'm actually working on getting a new overlay for the stream.
Oh, yes, I do remember hearing about that. Yeah, that could be pretty cool. How's it coming along?
Slowly. But I'm going to be working on it a lot tomorrow. And I'm thinking, if Tom and Sharky are happy with it, that's getting rolled out for next weekend.
Yeah, that'll be cool to have it in place for the final, yeah.
For the final, yeah. I'm going to try and get it so I've got, like a ticker running across the top, with like what the prizes are and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And maybe like how many players left, how many get prizes and all that sort of stuff. And try and get like the lobby showing as well, so we see like the chip leaders at all times.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get all of this stuff in, and I've got to test it and see if I can get it working and showing up how I want it to. Because I don't want it going out and looking bad. Oh, I'm just going to flick over to another table. Because we have some action on said other table. Have an all-in and a call.
So first all-ins for less than 2 big blinds. It's not a bad flop for him, but not good enough. Up and down straight draw against pocket fives.
Yeah, it was Pete Berry. We're down to 27 now.
So you have they updated the cash yet? We'll see what people have won. So on this table, Derek Tizadi plays in the Humble League. I don't know who Roy Smith is. I don't know who David Brown is. I've heard of Ian Wright, but I don't think it's the same one.
The footballer. It's got to be him, like the footballer.
Yeah, I don't think it's got anything better to do with his time. I'd be playing as well if I was him.
I've just sent. Where is the payouts? Can you see the payouts?
No, they've not put them on the. They've not put them on the site yet. I've just had a check.
Sharky says they're on the forum. I can't see them.
They're on a different thread, are they?
I'm just on price payments. Oh, price payments, not that.
It's not there. I've just had a look.
Leaderboard points. It's not there.
Ian Wright getting aggressive from the bottom.
So, full update on the new point structure. Static points are awarded for the top 24 players. I'm guessing that's staying the same as it would have done.
Yeah.
100 points awarded to all other players. The top 15 players get 25 bonus points for every player they beat.
Yeah, they did put up a demonstration, didn't they? They did put up a fake demo game to show all of the points and how they look like.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
So, yeah, so for example, whoever went out 25th last week would have just been getting 100 points. Now it's 250. So, yeah.
So I finished in 60. I wonder where I got that's a point that I'd be getting for 60.
You'd get the bonus points for a person you've outlasted, so you get 5 points per player you've outlasted.
So that's 71. Plus 100 points. 455, that's not a bad start. Game 1. I don't know how many of these games I'm going to play with work and everything.
I'm on earlys next week, so I don't want to be playing any late games, to be honest.
So we're down to 3 tables now. 23 players remaining. Just quickly pop up the lobby so we can see. So that is that's who our chip leaders are for now. I'll pop those back up on the break.
So Michael French, he's been leading this the whole way.
Jump back on table 2.
I think every time that we go to another table and come back, Chucky's got more chips.
Yeah, let's stay on Chucky's table then.
So, I've only seen him win one hand, but whatever he's doing must be working. Oh no, we saw him double with the King Queen against Queen 8 as well.
I think I missed that one.
Yeah, I think there was.
It was just before I went out.
I think someone might have possibly limped in or possibly raised with Queen 8, but anyway, Chucky was in the big blind with King Queen. Queen high flop, it was all in. And the King Queen held.
The payouts are on for the 7 PM game.
What have we got? Oh, where are they?
They're on page 3.
Right.
Because I think they were done like a minute before that last post went on.
Ah, so that's why it wasn't showing up as a new. Yes, yes. So 14 players get paid, so we're not too far off the bubble. First place £72, that's not bad.
Apologies to Sharky and Tom. We thought I'd forgot to do it. Which wouldn't be the first time that they forgot to post them, to be honest.
Just keeping them on the toes.
Yeah.
We're always watching.
Chucky had a 4th place finish earlier with the 2 PM.
Did he? Not a bad start for him then, points-wise. Maybe he's going for the gold final this time.
I might have to have a little crack at the gold final. The problem is I can't play the 11 every day, and I definitely can never play the 2 PM game for a week.
Yeah.
Because of work. Like, I finish work at 4, so I can never play the 2 PM game.
They brought the 10 PM now for every single night, haven't they?
Yeah. Problem like,
I mean,
start work at 8, so I can't
yeah.
really play the 10
They're
game.
a bit of a long haul. Those usually finish at about 12:30ish.
Yeah.
Less runners, but it's a much better structure. It's a really good structure in them.
Maybe the 9 o'clock game, the 10 o'clock game should have antes in it.
Yeah, that could be interesting actually. Because with it not being, I mean, I understand that they've not got the antes in this one because it is a turbo tournament. You put the antes in, everyone's just going to get killed off. For the deep stack, I think that they could definitely bring antes into that one. I think that would improve it.
Yeah, do you not think that they could maybe change it slightly and maybe increase the starting stack?
For the normal tournaments?
Yeah.
It's hard to say, isn't it? Because they've been getting so many runners. I mean, you're talking about, what, 2.5 hours per game on average for these ones?
Yeah.
And when there's quite a few of them going on, all day, I understand that it's maybe asking a bit too much for people to be playing for that long if they're doing a couple of games. I'd have no problem with it. I'd rather that they did that, but just generally speaking.
Yeah, I think it would massively affect it.
Yeah.
So we are at the break. I'm just going to wait for this hand to finish. It's a big pot.
We've got a big pot, yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, that's unfortunate. So I missed what happened with that pre-flop. I don't know if Queen's possibly flat called from the small blind.
And unfortunately, because I'm not actually on the table, I can't see.
We can't see, yeah.
I'm just going to quickly load up the lobby. So we have a new chip leader.
John Finch is still in there.
Yeah.
Mark Fulton, he's been hovering around the top 5 for most of the game.
That was me. I accidentally closed it down. There we go. Mark's just steady in it, just sits there. Gets out.
Yeah. For some reason, obviously Matt is up in Scotland, but every single time I'm at the Nationals or Interleague or any kind of event, I always seem to land up on this table. And
Yeah.
I think he's a decent player.
Yeah, I've had it with like the last couple of years. I haven't had the hardest table draws. Like I've had table draws with good players, but I've not had like the table of death sort of thing. That, you know,
At the Interleague, I get put on the table of death every single year. It's always the same people. It's always the same people every year.
Yeah.
Seems to be like me, Chucky, Craig Smith. God, it's just I can pretty much predict what it's going to be every year.
Yeah, a couple of years ago I got Dave Kingswell, Andy Coulthard. I've had Chris Alexander the last 2 years. I had Liam Coulthard last year.
Yeah. I remember seeing that table last year. That's quite an aggro table, that one.
Yeah, it's surprising. I played a little bit tighter than what I normally do. I've got the impression it was quite an aggro table and I played a little bit tighter.
Definitely hoping that everything's cleared up so that this one can go ahead in September.
Yeah, it'd be nice. For me, what's your thoughts? What's the best LPPL weekend of the year? Nationals or Interleague?
I still like the Nationals. I mean, the Interleague, it is totally different and it is awesome when you're on the final table. I mean, I said I've been lucky enough to be on the team when we've come second twice. So, once you're getting down, it's like three-handed, four-handed, and you've got like the whole team behind everyone. Someone wins a hand, everyone's, you've got something to support even when you're not playing yourself. That's always a good thing, but I still think that the Nationals is just...
Yeah, we had...
There's just so much going on at the Nationals. As soon as you're out of an event, you can just buy into another event. You can just... it's non-stop.
I think the atmosphere is a lot better in the league.
Yeah, just because everyone's together.
Yeah. But for pure poker, I think that Nationals.
Yeah, I mean, just two totally different things. I mean, I said what I like about Nationals is that there's always something going on. So once you're out, you just jump into something else. I mean, at the Interleague, you do have the points where maybe you're out and then you're going to be waiting for, a couple of hours, something like that, for the next one.
Yeah,
and it seems to go really fast.
Very early on your team, you bar bitch for a day.
Exactly, yeah. But yeah, I love them both. And I said there's some plans for Nationals next year. Obviously, they're going to be doing the online qualifiers for the WSOP main event. I think that they might be doing stuff for a possible decent Omaha tournament and things like that going on. So I think next year should be pretty good. They're going to have a very tight schedule. There's going to be a lot going on.
Yeah, I've heard about a lot of these plans, and all I can think is, God, that's going to cost me a fortune, but I can't let it.
You just have to make sure you make a profit.
Yeah, I'm going to try and stay off the cash tables if I can.
I've just never really found much time for the cash tables at Nationals.
Yeah. I did it last year, not this year's. Someone raised like 25, 50 blinds, someone raised like a fiver out of like a 35 quid stack.
Yeah.
Under the gun. Plus one with like 40 quid and ace king. I just ripped it out. I don't want a 3-bet to like 15 and then like 3 other people caught. So I got it in against fours. Queen jack sum at the flop. Miss, and then the person who wins the hand says thank you.
Oh, the needle at the end.
I was happy until the needle. It was like, there's no need for that. It's like my pet hate. I'm saying what my pet hate is now, all that's going to happen every time. If someone's watching this now.
Yeah, the next game that you play, the chat box is just going to be lit up with a thank you every time you
lose a pot. Yeah. I could just imagine in the league just going to put that in it, just going to be loads of thank you.
Imagine at least hopefully it's not going to have people throwing Teds at each other.
Chairs?
Teds.
Oh yeah. Chairs or what?
Not chairs.
Well, it wouldn't surprise me.
That kind of a... Right, we got quite a big shove here.
I think it's a good shove, to be fair.
Yeah,
I think.
did what needed to do. So I had button limped, small blind completed. So yeah, pretty much hoping that you're going to be getting folds through there, and it's a decent pot to pick up. There's a lot in the middle.
Yeah.
There's quite a few big stacks on this table. And 20 players left, so we're 6 places off the money. Well, he's definitely got it in good.
It's a nice spot.
What did he have? Did he have 1.5 big blinds, something like that? Oh, now he's got 1.5 big blinds.
There we go.
But as I say, because there's no antes, he can fold this, get another orbit, and you never know, maybe he might fold his way into the money.
That's optimistic. Fold your way into the money. What was it? How many paid?
14. See, we've lost one.
Well, yeah.
Can he do it?
But that's on his table, isn't it? No. We haven't all in at one of the we had an all in at one of the other tables, but we got it through.
So I've not even heard of this guy that's the chip leader, Paul Niskal.
Yeah.
This is going to be an interesting one.
This is a big shove. Very big shove.
Michael French coming back for his chip lead.
He's not got it.
But he's close. Grant is not going to be folding his way into the money.
I like it.
Maybe these guys can fold for the extra 796.
Yeah, we're going to see some crazy action.
So we saw a limp under the gun here from Ferguson.
Yeah.
Ace Queen gets it.
Well, maybe
I'm
now
pretty much
he can fold his way into the money.
Still on 19 players left.
Yeah.
There's a couple of short stacks, but...
So I'm just going to load up one of the other tables now. I
Just at the right time.
Keep loading my bloody table. I'm just going to get Chucky's table. Let's see what happens here. We'll watch his hand and I'll load Chucky's table up.
Ian Wright still going for it.
Oh. Chucky's all in.
After a raise.
We don't see Chucky win a second pot on stream.
No.
Grant Lawrence, who had less than one big blind, now has 100k.
Well, really? He must have doubled up again as soon as he went off the table.
Yeah, it was blind v blind. Queen Jack for George Ferguson versus an ace, and he came ace 10 something. So I don't know when they're winning.
I'm guessing it was going to be pre-flop blind on blind with those hands.
Yeah. He should have shoved that pre-flop.
He should have shoved the pocket fives from the small blind, definitely.
He don't get called. Yeah. He shouldn't get called. Sorry.
Not from 7-3, no.
So After this hand, I think I'm going to jump onto Mark Fullerton's table because it's quite a short stack table.
So hopefully we'll see some action.
Yeah, the biggest chip stack on there is 13 big blinds. There's a bit of action to be played on this, I think.
So, David Brown raising up here. Flat call from the big blind. You expect that David Brown could have something here, definitely, or should at least be betting this.
Yeah. That looks.
Now that's a brilliant turn card.
I think that's a really good turn card for David.
Check. I've got a feeling it might be Ace Queen here.
What, for David?
Yeah.
I wonder if he's got like Ace King or Pocket Kings maybe. Because you bet really small on the flop. And you're always checking if you've got Kings there on the turn. Make it look like you missed. But he didn't snap, so he didn't have Kings, so I was wrong. It might be Ace Queen.
I don't think he likes this at all.
Yeah, down to 17.
Nearly there.
Yeah, not far off. Three off the money. And some nice payouts.
Yeah, not bad. 70 odd quid for first place. I just got a nice double up in the tournament that I was playing.
Yeah.
Yeah, someone had raised up pre-flop with, they had raised up with, let me go back, 10-8 of hearts. They'd raised up to 4,000. I re-raised it from the big blind. It's a 6-max tournament as well, so obviously there's going to be a lot more 3-bets going on. I re-raised from the big blind with pocket aces, which is easy enough. The flop came up ace 3 jack with 2 hearts. So I check call. The guy's got 10-8, so he's picked up the flush draw. He leads out the flop. 10 card is 6. I check, he bets out about half of his stack, so at that point I can get it all in. He's pretty much going to be calling off at that point after putting in most of his chips. He ends up rivering the flush, but gives me a full house.
Must be nice.
What have we got here? What did I miss? I've just seen in the chat box. Wow.
Yeah, I think he picked. I think Daniel Marshall. He doubled up Grant Lawrence, Ace King versus Grant's Ace Jack. Grant got there, and then I think he had Ace Jack and then Ace Queen back to that. So he went Ace King, Ace Jack, Ace Queen.
Oh, not bad.
It's not bad when you've just like lost a load of chips, lost like most of your stacks, or half your stack, and then pick up blinds 2-handed in a row.
So Grant's still hovering around near the bottom, close to the money.
The blinds have just gone through him as well, though, so.
Yeah.
We had some action. Sorry, I loaded up the wrong table trying to get that. Mark Fullerton's very short stack now.
Oh, that's turned around fast. I'm guessing he's lost him to Christopher Orr.
Yeah, just
because he didn't. Yeah.
Ace 9 for Christopher versus Kings for Mark Fullerton.
Ouch.
We've just lost Ruth Fullerton in 17. She shoved with 7s into 9s.
Ouch.
How does Paul not low max fault here? He can't fault, surely.
No. Oh, especially not with King Queen.
Oh.
Mark staying alive.
Back in it.
So we've got a couple of big stacks on this table. And quite a few short stacks, so it should be a good one.
Yeah, the other table's got quite a lot of short stacks as well. We've got an all-in pot on the other table. Oh, the other person's folded, so... Oh. That's a really good flop for a small blind there, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. And he's got a nice stack there for a just over pot size shove as well. I mean, even though Chris Orr was one of the chip leaders, it's still going to be a big chunk for him to call off that amount.
Yeah.
Especially when they're outside of the money as well. You don't want to be going too crazy with your calls. Grant Lawrence, can he find his way into the money?
That would be great if he manages to sneak into the cash.
That's what I want to see. Guy with one big blind. He's only got 2 more players to go.
And the blinds have gone through him now as well.
Yeah.
And he's got Mark Fullerton, who when blinds go through him is going to have less chips. See, if I was Grant now, I'd be using my full time. I'd be using my full 20 seconds and then folding.
Yeah, I mean, how many tables left? Have we got 3 tables? I've got 2 tables left now.
I think I'd be just trying to slow the game down, make the other table see more hands. You know, if I was trying to sneak into the money.
Yeah.
Definitely just trying to slow the game down. Pretty much like it's effectively like just playing the game like a satellite, isn't it?
I like that Mark still seems to be going for it.
Yeah.
It's good to see he's gone for the win.
He don't care though, does he?
Nah.
He'll play a load of games, he's a very good player, he's going to get a load of points. So.
The good thing is it's the first day of the month, so at this point you don't really need to consider too much about laddering, do you? You know?
No.
Take a few risks, you've got plenty of time. Go for the win.
I wonder what's going to happen with Interleague next year, now that they've modified the areas so they're a little bit more compact.
Oh no.
Oh wow.
Oh, he gets it. He gets the final jack.
So we are on the bubble.
And Grant have made it. Oh, poor guy.
Unlucky Grant, we were rooting for you.
Yeah, so I don't know what they're going to do next year then with the new ones, because obviously, you know, I mean, the Northeast they love the Interleague. You know, you saw them last year, like with the big intro and everything like that they did. They've got a ton of players, so obviously all going to want to play for the Interleague as well. I don't know if there's any way. I mean, personally, I'd like to see if they could still kind of separate the leagues out for the Interleague. If there's any way that they can do that. So obviously, I mean, it makes sense that with them only having as few venues that they have, like merging them with the Humber League as well does make more sense. And is there another 2 leagues which have merged as well, is there?
Scotland.
Yeah, so I mean that makes sense. But when it comes to something like the Interleague, I think it'll be good just to give more players a chance to play.
See, I think some of the Scottish teams have been struggling in the last couple of years for players.
Yeah, they have. It's hard to say, isn't it? Because we do have a few, like when we've had like invitational teams where we've had to get other players in. I mean, even ourselves last year, we did have to have a couple of players in guest spots, but that's because we'd had a few of our players that had qualified that had serious things going on where they couldn't actually make it. Other than that, I don't think that there should have been an issue with us having a full team.
We had a player cancel like a couple of weeks before.
Yeah.
He had something going on, so he couldn't make it.
Yeah.
And that like left us really short. To the point though where our captain, on the day we didn't have the 12th player.
Yeah.
Asked Tom if I could play the second table.
Yeah. Well, we had on our team because we had 2 players which had to drop out like almost a couple of days before the interleague, and it was for like serious purposes, like why they had to drop out. So we were left like, oh man, we need some players desperately. So we got Kim on our team.
Nice.
She never made it to the sit and go round. I think she was asleep in a car after drinking too much.
The night before.
Yeah.
Yeah, we ended up getting someone who was meant to play for the invitational team, playing for us, and then someone else took her place in the invitational team.
I mean, the good thing is with the interleague is that a lot of people do just come down for the weekend, you know, even if they are in a team or not. So that's always good to see. But I think when you've got something like full leagues merging, I would like to see the option of, you know, having more teams for the interleague and letting more people join in if there's a demand for it. I know if you said like 12 players between Humber and North East, man, you'd have people like clawing for places, you know.
I wonder if they might keep it as the 7 leagues and do an invitational team, so that's 8, but maybe extend the numbers from 12 to 16.
The problem with that, I mean, that'd be good, like to get everyone involved. Is that there's going to be a lot of players missing out on final table. I mean, as it is, unless you make it to like the last 3 or heads up, not everyone's going to play on the final table anyway. I mean, most people, you know, they understand that is obviously a team game, and the captains are picking people based on, you know, what your stack sizes are at the time, who's going to be playing best with that stack or with the other players that are on the table, things like that. So there are some times when you're just not going to be able to play on final table, but when you've got 16 or so players on the team, there's going to be a lot of people that are missing out. And if you've gone down and, you know, had a bad sit and go around and maybe been first out, you know, only played for about half an hour, 40 minutes, which does happen, and then you might not get to go on final table as well, it is a bit of a, you know, you still enjoy the weekend, obviously, you know, drinking, meeting up with people, but you won't be getting your poker's worth.
I wonder if they could do like 2 final tables.
It will be interesting. I mean, it's something that they can definitely look at doing something, I think,
if you had 16 players, put 8 on each table, you got 8 players per team, 1 on one table, 1 on the other. And then
I still don't know how that would work for eliminations, though.
If you get eliminated from one, it's fine. Winner of each table, then play each other heads up for the trophy.
Right.
Unless one region wins both.
Yeah, then we've got a bit of an anticlimax.
They win. If you were to win like two final tables, then I think you deserve the trophy.
Oh yeah, definitely.
No, it's just ideas, isn't it?
Yeah, there's some things to think about. All right, Ace 9 looking like it's going to get the double up. How many players have we got left now?
We have 13.
Oh, so we're in the money.
Yeah, I really don't get that hand. So Michael French limps under the gun with 3s when the big blind's got 2.5 bigs.
Yeah, definitely not limping to fold. Was he just more concerned about what the other players was going to do afterwards?
I don't know, but like, I'm not even a fan of having 3s under the gun there. I think it's a fold.
Yeah, I would have folded. I mean, he's still got the chip lead. I mean, obviously, he's only risked like 2.5 bigs, which if he was going to be raising up and then losing it that way, it's the same difference. But yeah, wouldn't be limping with him. That's not one of the options, I don't think. I am just going to register in for the 10 o'clock game before I forget, because it doesn't have late reg in that one, does it?
No. What's the 9 o'clock game looking like?
I'm going to jump into that one as well, but I'm probably going to do that in about 10 minutes time.
Yeah, we have 18 minutes on that one.
With the-
I'm going to load up the lobby for that.
With the other tournament, I mean, being a 6 max, it's quite fast. So it's going well as well.
Just going to flick onto the other table.
Yeah, do we have any? We don't have any one super short. I mean, everyone's short for the blind, but there's no one like massively outstanding, is there?
No. Oh, interesting one in the 9 o'clock game. You know, Eddie Paul, that's in the final 13 of this. He's also chip leader in the 9 o'clock game.
That's not looking like a bad day for him then. So I'm not sure what league he's from. I didn't actually see. I don't think I ran into any of his tables during the last one.
At the minute, we have 68 players.
Not bad for the 9 o'clock.
No,
That should be some decent money. It should be over £100 for first place, I assume. There or thereabouts.
Oh. Mark Fulton's just lost a pot. He should with ace 9 and got called by Paul Lomax who had 9s.
Ouch.
We've seen Mark when he's shot, he will get his stack in, so.
Yeah, so hopefully it should be an interesting watch. Yeah, Paul, he's one of the chip leaders now, isn't he? He's come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
He was short ever since there was about 20 players left. He was one of the bottom 3 stacks.
I'm really looking forward to next week, and I think it's going to be awesome.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Well,
I'm glad that there's not so much of a wait for it as well. You know, We've literally just come out of qualifying for it, and then we've got a few days and straight into the finals. It's the best way.
Yeah, it's like a week, isn't it?
Yeah.
Pretty much it's just a week. So.
I mean, that's a good thing with these games, getting as many players as they're getting, that the fact that they can do this monthly and still have the big prizes for it. I mean, after this one, it's only going to be another month and you've got another chance for a Las Vegas trip.
I'm just looking at some of the plays in the 9 o'clock game. Like, there's some names I've not seen for a long time in that.
Yeah, maybe people are coming back now. I mean, I think that there might have been some players that was a little bit behind on the last qualifying period and maybe thought, they didn't want to jump into it, that far behind. And maybe now, because it's a new month, new start, I've got a chance of getting straight in there.
Yeah, we've got Ellen Hodgkinson from
Yorkshire.
Yeah, Ellen's been playing this. I was in Ireland dealing when she final tabled the IPO.
Ah, cool.
I wasn't dealing the final table. Fortunately, I wasn't allowed to deal the final table. Because obviously I've been talking to her over the weekend. And they don't want me dealing a table where I know a player.
Yeah, that's fair enough, yeah.
It stops any sort of collusion going on. Not that I would, but...
No, but it's understandable, yeah. When you've got something at that level, yeah.
I think that's when Dave Kingswell won his APAC trip. Won an APAC event as well.
Yeah.
He's a good player. Kingswell.
Yeah, and he obviously is the reigning national champion as well at the minute. So, a few good results.
Kings.
Oh, not good enough. I have just been told. I've just been told now that there is late reg in the 10 o'clock deep stack game now.
Oh, how long? I'm not playing it tonight, but
By the looks of it, 5 levels, so it'll be 40 minutes, same as the 9 PM game.
Okay.
I don't mind so much in that one registering early though, because it is a deep stack and because it's got a good structure.
Yeah, it's not capped with either entries now, so that...
No, because it used to be 34, didn't it?
Yeah.
Although saying that, though, after they got rid of the cap, I don't think I've ever seen it have more than 34 players. I mean, I know that's a late game and it is a long one, so maybe that's part of it. But structure-wise, it's the best one.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on the 9 o'clock game. I'm just gonna jump.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump into it soon as well.
Then it would be me and you on the same table.
Yeah, one thing that I've noticed with the Party Focus offer a lot of times is when you're late reg and you end up in a heads-up table. So I always end up losing a lot of my time bank because when that happens, I just let it time down until other players jump on the table.
See, what I do there is turn the stuff on, and when you're doing that, I'll just throw power at you. Stop time banking. Have some excrement.
Is this 2 shoves in a row from Mark? Another gun plus 1 on another gun. Still a lot of pressure.
Players well to shove on, don't they, in the blinds? I've noticed he doesn't ever seem to shove into a big stack. And when he does shove into a big stack, he's got it.
Yeah, because the problem on this table now for him is that the people, when he's going to be in his best position, are the big stacks. I mean, obviously, when he's on the button, he's got one of the chip leaders on the big blind. When he's in the cut-off, he's got 2 of the chip leaders. When he's under the gun, he's got 2 of the shorter players.
He does still have to get through the 2 big stacks, but they're not likely to call off his stack size, are they?
Not when there's other players left to act. They can't be like super loose. It's a lot different calling from the big blind than it is calling from, under the gun plus 2.
Yeah.
So how many left until final table? 3 players left.
After this hand, I'm just going to jump back onto the other table.
Yeah, see what's going on. Oh, we got a good one here. 8s against 9s. And it's good for 9s.
Yeah, well, flick onto that table, which is like... There's a lot of short stacks. I think we could see it all in here. But it is LPPL, so you never know. Does the small blind call it off?
Yeah, they do.
Does the big blind call it off?
Nah, I don't think so. Not after thinking this long. That's pretty much locked up.
Yep.
To get a runner and a straight or a runner and a trip 3s. And that was the short stack in the full tournament that doubled up then, so I think I'm going to jump into the 9 o'clock one now. See if we can get a bit of action before late reg closes.
Yeah, I'm playing like a little online league on Stars that finishes next Friday.
Yeah.
And like we're paying top 5.
Mm-hmm.
I'm currently 5th, clear by 20 points. from 2 players and 100 points clear of the guy in 8th.
Is that pretty much a lock-up then, do you think? I don't know how it works points-wise.
We've got like 4 games left. So I need to get some points quick.
Will you be having like a playoff final, or is it just going to be based on how you've done in the league?
How you've done in the league.
Right.
So yeah, we're going to be doing it. We were originally going to play top 3 and play for longer. But player numbers started dropping by those players that weren't realistically going to finish in top 3.
Yeah, I think that's the only problem, that you can't do anything for too long because people will just lose interest if they've got no chance going on. At least something like this,
We have an all-in
get people refreshed.
The other table as well. So we'll watch this hand and then we'll see if it's got to be a call.
Ian Wright's crushing it now.
We have just lost David Brown in 10th. I'm surprised that got a fold.
Must have been an incredible
raise.
Any 2 cards.
Oh, we have our final table. Mark Fullerton has come back. Mark
Fullerton really?
Yeah, Mark. We'll see it. There we go. Mark Fullerton has 600k.
Right in there.
Shot. So congratulations everyone for making the final table.
Some nice early points. It's a bit of an unbalanced final table, this, isn't it? Quite a few short stacks. And
3 short is
a few
3 bigs, 2 middles. Who are we calling for winner?
I'm going to say Mark.
Yeah, I would have said Mark, but I think I'm going to go for the. I'm going to go for Ian Wright, just in case it is the footballer.
Yeah, we want to keep him interested. Yeah. Keep playing. People want to see it.
That's pretty standard there, isn't it?
Yeah, and he's going to be all in next hand regardless. He's got, a 10th of a small blind.
That's
well, he's got some protection, but will that get through? You know that he's going to have something massive here as well. Christopher, that is.
Oh yeah. Like my spot when I woke up with the jacks or something.
I think it just takes the piss out of you sometimes, this.
It's like, haha, you should have waited.
That's not looking good.
Christopher Rory 8th.
And although a win's a win for ED, that's not a lot of chips from that one.
Yeah, but it is a little bit of money, I think.
Will be a pay jump.
Yeah, I think he's made himself a tiny little pay jump. Yeah, so he just made himself £3 and 1p with that little pay jump. So
well left the shove.
6th and 7th get £15 5p, so there's not really that much difference. Now, there's no difference between 6th and 7th. It's then when the pay jumps start going up a little bit.
Yeah. Mark's keeping the aggression going, which is good to see.
He's not scared now, he's got some chips, he's not scared of tangling with chip leaders.
No, it's interesting that every single raise that I've seen him do has been from early position. I mean, I know that obviously there's not too much play left in this at the moment. It's more or less a case of like, if you've raised up and you've got a call, if it's a good flop, with those stacks you should be pretty much getting it all in, either pre-flop or on the flop, I think.
He can't pass here.
Nope, he wants the queen. That's not a massive loss.
No, he goes down to second place now. But like,
only by a really small amount. It's not too bad.
Yeah, he's going to go down to third unless he wins this hand. But I mean, it's nothing really, is it?
Interesting limp under the gun.
That's a good flop for someone who's limped under the gun.
Yeah. Until they run into a 2-3.
Mark's 2-3.
Mark's just sat there with 2-3. Can Mark fold?
Jack Bobby Kings.
Oh.
That's one of them.
That's why he limped under the gun.
That's one of them. Oh, I've seen an ace, but I'm just not folding. I ain't got a chip. Got to go there. Go out there, haven't you? So
those are the spots when you always see kings getting outdrawn every time. Can't believe they held.
Oh, I have just fired up the 9 o'clock game. I have 2 minutes. I'm sat on the table by myself.
Always nice to see.
I've got Paul McConnell joined my table. I was hoping I could be chip leader on my table for a minute. Just give me a walk. He's not going to get a walk, unfortunately, because I have a pair. I've got Eddie on my table as well.
Who was that?
Eddie Paul.
I was going to say he was on my table, but he's literally just moved 1 minute ago. Obviously balanced out when they've opened up your table.
So I've got Martin Merrick, Liam Coulthard, David Amos, and oh wow, Paul McConnell. Just got it in. 5s for 20 bigs versus King Jack, and he flops to the straight.
What? King Jack? Oh, who had the King Jack?
Hit him.
Oh, he had the King Jack.
Yeah.
Who had the 5s?
Me.
Oh.
Heads up. I'm not passing 5s to the top. Yeah, I'm not passing 5s there, heads up.
You wish you had the animations on now so you could throw something.
I don't think I would. Oh God. Diamond. Wow.
Oh, Ace King gets there.
I don't know why I thought diamond because I don't gain anything from it.
I've totally missed what happened with Michael French, but I can see that he's got a lot of chips. So
he had
whatever he did work.
Kings of Eddie, and flopped to Jack. It looks like I'm going to see one more hand in this. Oh, Mark's out.
Oh. I'm sorry for backing Mark to win that.
That's a big stack, that 1.5 mil now.
Yeah.
A lot of chips.
So, is there much of a pay jump for the next person to go? Because obviously Michelle's like super short here. Is that going to make anybody fold anything that they'd usually be shoving for a chance for a pay jump?
So it's £21.7p for that one. The next pay jump's £27.09.
So not massive, but they've all made it anyway. And now look at the stacks now.
So is it like walls of chips?
Yeah, these are the three. These are the three. You've just got to go for it now. And we're seeing that happen.
Ian Wright's gone. No.
Now Jeff's got a bit of a mountain to climb here. Can he do it? He's got nothing to lose at this point with that stack, though, has he?
No, he might just go for it.
He's got nothing to lose.
He's guaranteed £33.
And you can't be disappointed with third place.
No,
Not with that. Not with that amount of chips.
At the start of the table, you take third.
Yeah, if I was Michael French at this point, I'd be disappointed with third place. But for Jeff, no, just go for it.
For John as well, he'd probably be disappointed with third place from this point. But...
Oh, that's 2 in a row for Jeff.
My little league game, I've had a total of, I haven't had above like 6 big blinds for like the past 2-3 orbits.
Yeah.
I've just outlasted 2 more players. People going all in.
Nice.
Yeah. Really good for me. Only problem is that the person who's just eliminated a couple of players is below me and I need him to have a bad night.
We've still got some work to do.
I'm 4 of 4 and I was like 7 of 7, 6 of 6, 5 of 5. Oh,
Jeff
got heads up.
Jeff's made it a heads up. He's done it.
Go on, Jeff. This would be the greatest comeback in poker history.
Just shove every hand.
Yeah. No. How's it fold? Do you want to run with the 9 o'clock games just until the next break?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, sure. That's cool. Yeah.
Just end it on a nice clean point and then don't go now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Here we go.
5. Oh, the deuce.
Oh, the deuce does it. The comeback is on. Come on, Jeff.
You have to put it in here, don't you? Queen. Well played, Michael French.
Good game.
Very good game, sir. There we go. We'll fold the 10 too.
So, who else on your table? Obviously, Paul McConnell, Martin Merrick. I've seen the name around, but I don't know who they are.
I just need to get me some chips. I need some chips. Got 79 started in this. Total pot size of 870.
Not bad.
Yeah, that's not bad. $79 plays is going to be final table paid, isn't it?
Yeah, it will be. That should be some decent payouts. So obviously the good news is that there's already been 8 players eliminated, so that's some points locked up.
There's 65 left from 79. Like, I've already gained 70 points, and
Man must not have updated, yeah, man. For some reason, man lags a little bit. I don't know why.
Just for
more
everyone.
players and then there isn't, and then I reload it and it drops. Like, oh, cool. Made another few places.
Oh, I hate this spot. It's like I've just got to peel.
Yeah, you can't hold there.
I've got to call like to a min raise. Oh. I don't want to fold a pair. I'm getting like ace 9-7 or something, so I can just fold. Because now if you bet 1200, I'm going to call. I can't fold to 1200. I can fold to 48.
You can fold to 48. That's definite.
I couldn't. If you bet 12, I can't fold. I'm just getting like the implied odds. I think.
So the guy there that bets the pot, he was the guy that limped as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
So he limped, called the raise, and then bet the pot. Then it worked.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna squeeze.
Good luck. I think I might get through.
Yeah, Liam opens a lot.
Yeah.
He'll see this in about 5 minutes and they're like, oh yeah, Dan.
I think he's watching it as well.
Probably. He usually does.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he's good for that. So you've got the two biggest stacks on your table directly to your left, which isn't fantastic for your button.
Cheeky little 2.2. This is gonna get 3-bet.
Yeah.
I'm expecting. Oh, I got flat.
Oh, that's not a bad flop.
Check.
Oh, how are you going to get your value? Check and hope he bluffs.
The min bet. The min bet I just seem to see gets paid. Right. Overbet bluff with a but. Ah. I don't want to bet like 1200 and get called and be like, oh, I should have got more. Yep. King 7's good enough. If I don't raise, McConnell does, so.
It's that good period now, isn't it, where you don't have to be concerned too much about people 3-bet jamming with these stats, or you shouldn't really have that to worry about too much. So, got a good chance of seeing some flops, and let you go.
And as well,
Nice big 3-bet.
with you getting points per player you outlast, there's not really much incentive to try and ladder.
No, not unless it was like towards the end of the period and you're just trying to knock off some of your lower scores.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Like early, like you're not really. It doesn't really make much difference, does it?
Nah, at this stage, just go for it.
I've got like a month left on it to get some good scores in if I need them. So.
Yeah. Take a risk and go for the win.
So, the gold final next week. What tier do we think the gold final winner is going to come from? Gold, silver, bronze, or playoff? Can someone do playoff?
As much as it would be nice to see, I hope it's gold.
Yeah.
That's maybe got something to do with the fact that I'm in gold, but yeah. For the people that are watching, they'll probably want to see someone from the playoff do it, because then they'll think, good chance for anyone to win it. It will be I just can't see that happening. I can't see someone winning from the playoffs and winning the bronze final, winning the silver final, then going on to win the gold final.
Yeah.
It's a lot to ask. They would need to be running super good.
I could see someone from silver winning it.
What's quite good as well is just the fact that it's they've also got the party poker dollars up for grabs as well on the final tables. So it's not like super top heavy either, you know. I mean, it's top heavy, but I mean, if you make final table, you've at least got something. You know, a lot of times when it's been the area finals, when there's been a Vegas trip up for grabs and you've come like third place, it's like, oh, you know, so close and not really got too much for it at this point.
Third place in your wristband.
Yeah, but at this point, I mean, you're still getting like what was the payouts as well? It was over 100, wasn't it? Party poker dollars or something like that.
I don't think it's $100. Let me just quickly sign in and check. So it is. What we're doing: bronze, silver, or gold?
For gold, if you get to gold.
So for gold, top 3 go to Vegas. $500 for first, $250 for second, $100 for third. And
Still leaves something to play for.
4th to 8th. 4th gets £100 credit on the party poker account. 5th and 6th get 75, and 7th and 8th get 50.
So you see that's not too bad, because how many players did they say that they was expecting? Expecting, was it about
49?
Yeah, so that's not too bad. Just make it into the final table for a prize.
Yeah, what else we got? So for the silver, they're estimating things about 100 players. The final table will get like guaranteed £25 credit, then 50 for 4th, 100 for 3rd, and then a Malta weekend for 1st and 2nd. So I'd be buzzing to win the Malta weekend.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I haven't been to Malta yet. I've not done that one. But from what I've heard, everyone said it's been pretty awesome.
Yeah. Have you seen what they're doing for the main event package? If you cash in the main event.
Yeah, I like that actually. That's pretty cool. That they're doing.
For you, 30% for everyone else who makes the final table of the qualifier. I like that.
So you've all got something to reel, haven't you?
Yeah, I like that.
You've just got to hope that if you don't win the package, that you've got a seriously good player that wins the package.
Yeah.
Because it's still such like a massive amount. If they was to get and being cash for like $16,000, that getting distributed between 30% of you for the other 8. Yeah, exactly, yeah.
It's sort of like you'd be so happy for someone to win it if it wasn't you. Like like you've obviously your 30%, your share of 30%.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But I can't help but think, can you imagine how tilted you'd be a little bit if you won it and had to give 30% of it away for like an $8 or $9 million prize? Right.
Yeah.
That's retirement gone.
Yeah, it's painful, isn't it? And as I said, we've seen quite a few WSOP successes from players, so it's entirely possible.
There's been some big ones. I think Steve Bradbury from Yorkshire.
Well, we've had three final tables.
Okay, I know of 2. So I know of Steve Bradbury and I know of Liam.
Chucky.
Did Chucky make one?
At the same time as Liam. They was both on final tables at the same time in 2 separate events.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was actually running between, because I was in separate rooms as I was coming down to final table on the same day. So I was running and railing between both rooms, and it's actually quite a distance to run from one room to the other room.
Yeah.
So I'd go, see how Liam's doing, run into the one that Chucky was in, see how he was doing, text back results to guys back home in LPPL. And then when it got to it, when they was both on final tables, Liam was in the main final table, the big Thunderdome one, and Chucky was on one of the side final tables, so you could actually sit in one place and watch them both, but they was both on at the same time. So that was pretty awesome.
I didn't know Chucky done that.
Yeah, he grinded it out. Got 27 grand. I think it was 24, was it?
Yeah, I've just looked him up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was quite a stacked final table, wasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, the one that Liam went out fifth in, unfortunately, he lost a big hand to Doug Poker, won his first bracelet in that event.
You want Ace King versus Jacks?
Yeah, Jack on the flop, and then it came runner straight for Ace King.
Brutal. Does he still play much?
Not too much, I don't think. But I mean, that cash was like 50 odd grand. That's decent.
Yeah.
Not bad at all. That was a turbo event as well. It was a 1K turbo event. It actually made final table about 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock on day one. It made final table.
It was like 10 minutes or 15.
No, it was actually still a half-hour clock. People were just being absolutely ridiculous in it. Chucky's was much more of a grind. Yeah, I think I've played 8 bracelet events.
Any cashes?
Yeah, I've cashed in 2 of them. My best was 37th for about 7 grand or something like that. And then I cashed one last year as well, but that wasn't a big one. It was about $1,000 or something like that.
Yeah, I want to go.
It's awesome. So I was hoping of going this year, but hopefully going next year, see if we can win another trip.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
Yeah, best place on the world in the planet for me.
Well, either way, next week there's going to be 3 people winning trips.
Yeah. When they'll be able to use them, though, is a completely different matter.
Yeah, hopefully everything will all be back to normal for next year.
Yeah.
It would be nice to see. I mean, I couldn't believe how massive the WSOP was last year. The amount of runners that it was getting, it was insane. I mean, last year when they started bringing out like the big 50 and events like that, like the $500, $600 buy-ins, these events which was getting like 30,000 runners. You couldn't even walk down the corridors. You'd be queuing for about 15 minutes just to use the toilet during the breaks. It was nuts.
Yeah, I think if I was going
I haven't seen it like that.
I'd rather play 2 of those than at 1K.
Yeah, I mean the interesting thing is like there's a lot of other decent tournaments that are going on like at the other casinos as well. I mean the thing with the WSOP is it's got the prestige of it being a WSOP event. Like that's the big name that everyone recognises. But you've also got other things going on like the Win Summer Classic events, which are like $500 buy-ins, where first place is still decent, like about 60, 70 grand, and you still get a trophy out of it.
Yeah.
But they've only got like, say, 120, 130 runners. So obviously you've got a lot more of a shot for that one. Then you've got like the ARIA WPT 500 tournaments as well. Things like that, which are probably more value for money to play in those tournaments.
Yeah, when I was there, I found
the WSOP is still the WSOP. That's the big thing.
Yeah, when I was there, I found one casino that was like really soft.
Which one was that?
I think it's shut now. It was one on the corner, little dainty.
Was it Bill's?
Yes.
Yes, I remember.
Like $30 comps, but they had like 3 running in a day, and they were so soft. I think I won like 4 or something while we were over there.
I played a cash table at Bill's. I think it was in 2012, and I didn't realise until about 10 minutes in that every other player at the table was deaf.
Oh, well, that was fun.
There must have been like like a poker group. They obviously all knew each other. They'd all travelled down together, and I was sat at the table, tried to make conversation. I wasn't getting anything back, and then I realised that everyone was deaf.
Yeah, I was playing cash against some guy from Finland who was absolutely steaming.
Yeah.
At like 9 in the morning. He'd clearly been up all night playing. And he went to raise, and it ended up like my big blind. I think he raised and made it like $50 or something like 1-2.
Yeah.
I look down at Kings. Cheers, free double.
Nice.
Right, I think I'm gonna get off and play this and stop the stream now. We'll be back tomorrow. Just need to find someone else to commentate tomorrow.
And everyone remember to tune in next week for the finals.
Yes. Next Thursday I'm gonna try and get that pushed on social media a lot. We want lots of people tuning in for that. Really want a load of people tuning in.
Yep, some people are going to be going to Vegas, some are going to be going to Malta. There's a lot to play for.
See if someone can. If there is anyone playing on Thursday or Friday that would like to have their hands streamed on a 3-minute delay like it is today, drop me a message on Facebook or on the forum and we'll get that set up. We would like to get some players on who are playing as well. You know, our streaming. It's nice to get a bit of action from like a player's perspective.
Yeah, it's always more interesting to see.
Yeah, right. I'm going to get off. Thank you very much for your time. And we will catch you guys tomorrow.
Yep, see you all later.
Bye.